On today's episode, we talk Korean bikinis, secret Facebook pages, and when your winter coat tries to bankrupt you. All that and more on today's episode of Bad Advice with Beth Denberg.
Help me out, almighty Lori Beth Denberg. Give me the vital information so I get the right thoughts to do, yeah. The church of Lori Beth is in session and we're reading from the scriptures of vital information. Talking my goddess and my savior, my LBT. Just tell me what's going on with me. Oh, my goddess and my savior, my LBT. Just tell me what's going on with me. Yeah. The Lori Beth Denberg.
Hello, I'm Lori Beth Denberg, and welcome to Bad Advice with Lori Beth Denberg. With me, as always, is my co-host and cohort, Clark Crozer.
Hello.
Hello, Clark.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Hopefully, our audience is hearing me correctly.
Yes, this is our first podcast back from the horrible audio issues we had.
Yes, so I want to thank everyone who's here, who made it through the episodes with horrible audio, but I want to let you know how we fixed it.
Yeah.
We flew in a very prestigious, very accomplished audio technician.
Yes.
And so we did he told us what to do, and then we did a test with him. Clark did.
Yeah.
And I want to play that for you now.
Okay. Yeah. Let's play this. Okay, here it is.
So, how was school?
It was good.
Yeah, did you learn anything?
I learned that animals hibernate
Yeah.
because
Animals hibernate?
yeah,
Okay, what do they do?
bears hibernate.
Oh, yeah?
And they go in dens and in the winter they can't get any food.
They can't get any food?
I
Yes.
can't stand it.
Crazy. Do they just sleep all day?
Yes, sometimes some bears do that.
Ah.
Some bears can find food, but not all bears.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay, I think that's a good enough test. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. He was already halfway out of the house.
So that was that very prestigious audio technician was Clark's son Lex,
Yes,
aged 5.
5 years old. 5.5. Five and a half. More
excuse
so.
me.
More so because his birthday is in April. So he's like 5 3/4 now.
Oh dear, that's not cool.
Man.
So yes, he did that pressing interview about school
About
and
hibernation.
yeah, and Clark played it for me, and I was like, well, this has to go right in the show.
Right.
So he is as cute as the cutest button could be in the world.
He is pretty cute. But, he's talking about in that interview information that he's learned from kindergarten, which has all been here at the house. It's been remote. He hasn't gone into kindergarten.
Yeah, he doesn't know any different than that this is school.
Yeah, he just thinks this is school, is logging in on his iPad and having a bunch of people yelling on a Zoom meeting.
Yeah, which is so, it's...
And yet he still learned about hibernation.
He did learn about hibernation.
So maybe it's not as bad as we're thinking.
I guess not, but it's interesting to think that there's a whole, group of kids now that are growing up. Hopefully it won't be that long until we're able to go back to school. We are able to go back to school.
Right.
But, that's all he knows. Just like there are kids who are born that don't know a world without Twitter.
Yeah, it's true.
There are kids that are born that don't know a world without computers being everywhere.
Yeah.
So...
It's definitely a weird experience trying to help him because I have to sit through every kindergarten class.
Yes. Are you able to keep up?
I can keep up a little bit, but usually I'm secretly hiding my iPad and just playing games. But every once in a while,
does the teacher say Clark?
He doesn't. She does not. No. But anyway, we're doing good. Would you like to get into some questions for today?
I would.
Okay, let's do it. Let's get into some bad advice. Here we go. Question number one. I was very happy. Before we get into the questions, I do want to say I'm very excited. We're getting a lot more questions. I feel maybe we're reaching a bigger audience and more people are sending in questions. So I'm very happy. I hope everyone continues to log on to our Facebook and our website. You can leave messages in a multiple different ways. And we have 4 different messages today from 4 different places.
Whoa.
So question number 1 is actually from Facebook. Someone left a message on our Facebook page asking you, how do I avoid talking about politics over the holidays? How do you avoid it when you may have an in-law that will really goad you into talking about politics that you know you disagree on? That was from Rich.
Rich.
Yeah.
What's up, Rich? Yeah, people are gross.
Yeah.
We're all maybe getting a little break from this due to this terrible pandemic of COVID. So if you are on a Zoom call with a horrible in-law that wants to goad you, it's like, go mute.
Yeah.
You're breaking up. Your audio's bad. Maybe you should log out and not log back in. But other than that, this is a difficult thing.
Yeah, totally.
You know, it's easy enough to say to somebody who you disagree with, not agree to disagree, but to say, that's not a topic we're going to talk about.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And maybe that's the key. Maybe it is just, it's not about, wishy-washy, maybe we should, maybe it's just find topics of conversation with this person that have nothing to do with politics.
Yeah.
If they collect Pez dispensers, talk about Pez dispensers. You know what I'm saying?
Rich is saying, what if you have someone that goads you into it?
Well.
So what I would say is turn the conversation away that they will want to end it.
Right.
Even if it's not true, be like, well, we could talk about that, but tell me about your impotence. Your wife says you haven't been able to pleasure her in about 40 years.
I love that.
So if your father-in-law doesn't want to talk about that, say, well, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's wonderful. It's like a new form of gaslighting that includes insulting too.
Yes, exactly.
Insulting and gaslighting at the same time. I love that.
Yeah, and just anything. Well, part of this is like a hilarious joke and part of it isn't.
Yeah.
Because you might be able to get through to that person like, this is offensive what you're trying to goad me into. This is not what I'm interested in.
That's true.
And so here, let me give you a taste of what that's like.
As quick as I am to try and go to the make fun of them category, I do have to bring up, Karen had a really deep conversation in a sports bar of all places with her brother years ago about why she defended LGBT rights.
Yeah.
And her brother was kind of, old school and wasn't into it and didn't understand why she was fighting for it if she wasn't gay and all this stuff. And through that conversation, it's not that they walked away and he was like, I'm better, I'm changed. But a few weeks later, he did call her back and say, you know what? I keep thinking about our conversation. And I have to say, you made a lot of really good points. And I see why you're fighting for these people because, clearly they're real people and deserve to be have a nice life.
Yeah.
So
that's great.
There's a possibility.
Well, we can't all be Karen.
I know. There's a possibility that you could change a person's mind, but it's just very rare.
Yeah. So I would just go with, well, if we're going to talk about politics, what about your smelly ball syndrome? I mean, from here, I can smell it. But hopefully you won't be getting together with a big group of people. Yeah. Or you can say, I'm feeling a little COVID-y this year.
Right.
Uncle whoever.
Yeah, that's a good way of getting out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I like that.
Thanks, Rich.
All right. So that was our Facebook question. Now we move on to a question that we received on our website, AskLoriBeth.com. And this is from Stella. So Stella says, Mary Beth, you are my favorite actress and comedian. I am having a hard time in the pandemic missing going to spa day with my friends. Have you ever been to a Korean spa? It's the best. As a big Hollywood star, are you getting in-home treatments like Kim Kardashian? How can I relax and have some pampering and girlfriend time while avoiding COVID-19?
Okay, well, first of all.
Yeah, this is Stella.
No, it's not. It's my best friend, Stacey Elise, who sent this question from her dog, Stella.
Okay, there you go.
Which is why I got to explain why she called me Mary Beth.
Okay. I picked this because she called you Mary Beth. I thought,
Stacey, you're a nutter. Stacey Elise used to do a lot of secret shops. And that's where, if you don't know, you work for a company that sends you out to restaurants. It could be restaurants, it could be hotels, it could be a dry cleaner. And you have a list of things. You're kind of like undercover. And you have a list of questions that you need to answer. Like, I went into I called the restaurant. Was the person answering friendly? Did they give me their name? And it goes all through, say, a meal.
Okay.
With, if it's a nice restaurant, how long did it take before the valet recognized you? Were they friendly? How long did the host, it's like all the stuff going through all the food and how it was served.
Sure.
So it was a few years ago, maybe like more than 5, that she came to town to visit for Christmas.
Okay.
For the week, maybe more of Christmas. And we did a different secret shop every night.
Oh, wow.
Because also you get a budget from the company.
How cool.
Or they send you gift cards. So you end up doing this work, but you also get like a fancy meal.
Right.
So we had done a whole week's worth, different restaurants, and we did one. Actually, this is holiday timed. It was Christmas Eve.
Okay.
I'm not going to say the restaurant, but it was pretty nice.
Red Lobster.
And it wasn't Red Lobster because we would not have anything bad to say about cheesy biscuits. So we were there. We did the secret shop. It's part of it is you have to take pictures of your food. So you kind of have to do it surreptitiously. But right now it's like, people take pictures of their food all the time.
Yeah, it's very common.
So after that meal on Christmas Eve, secret shop, Stacey O got an email from the company saying, we received news that your secret shop was completed by famous actress comedian Mary Beth Denberg.
What?
Yes. So
they knew you were a famous actress comedian, but they didn't know that your name was Lori Beth Denberg?
Yes, that's how famous I am. I'm famous actress comedian Mary Beth Denberg. So first of all, just like I don't know if they figured out it was a secret shop. Because we were supposed to be secretive.
Yeah.
But so they, Stacey Elise was told that I was no longer allowed to do secret shops, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Because they want somebody to be completely undercover and not get any special treatment. A lot of times servers, do like, hey, I grew up on you. I love you so much. And, then I'm not getting, if they normally would have spit in my coffee and just told me to fuck off, I'm not getting that.
Right.
Because they love the loud librarian.
Right.
But so she got that email saying that famous actress comedian Mary Beth Denberg was not allowed. So yes, I'm so famous that my name is Mary Beth. And then I remember I laughed so hard because her response, she wrote to them and was like, fine, sorry, I didn't mean it.
Yeah.
But her response to me is like, what am I supposed to say? Everyone in LA's been an actor.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like so that if you're wondering why Stacey Elise's dog called me Mary Beth Denberg. And P.S. and by the way, hi Stella, you're a good girl.
Oh.
So the question, though,
is about more Korean spas and home treatments.
How to, we have a group of girls, and by group I mean 4.
Okay. And
we do a girls' weekend every year. Hopefully we'll get to do one in 2021.
Right.
We luckily got 2020s in like February.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
under
that
the wire.
Worked out. And we do spa days. We do all that. And then a couple weeks ago, we decided to do a Zoom spa day.
Mm-hmm.
So we got on a Zoom call. It was supposed to be masks. Like everyone had their, little, metally Mylar pouch with their mask in it. And the 3 of them did masks. And I think Stacey Elise did a foot thing. I did a foot thing. I soaked my feet and then did a little pedicure stuff. And it was really nice. And really what it was us sitting down and taking the time for a couple hours to just hang out.
Yeah.
We're used to being on Zoom when it's work and it's meetings and it's like, can I get off this? So it was really nice to just sit and be with each other at the same time we're doing something nice for ourselves.
Sure.
My feet felt great after that.
Sure.
And so that was good. And she mentions Korean spas. If you have not been to a Korean spa, and if you do not have super sensitive skin, I highly recommend it. I took Karen once.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you totally did.
And I say that like I paid for her. I don't think I did. But she joined the group of girls.
Yeah.
The Korean spa, what I get is they just scrub every inch of your everything.
Right.
And get just layers of dead skin off. You go into, it has a lovely spa and you go and sit in the jacuzzi and there's a hot jacuzzi and a hotter jacuzzi and a cold plunge, which there's always someone in there that's like, I'm going to try it. And they put like 2 toes in and it's like, oh shit.
Too cold.
It's too cold of a plunge. So, but then the treatment that I would get, you go into like a private cubicle and there is usually an older Korean woman in black bra and panties. It's not a bikini. It's specifically a black bra and panties.
Why?
And I don't know, but they are all business.
Are you naked or are you? Okay, so maybe they're just trying to make you feel more comfortable. Like,
yeah. Oh no, it's definitely
you're naked and look, I'm kind of naked too.
Yeah, no, it's definitely where they're getting like, wet and all this stuff too while it's going on. But it's
but they could be doing that while wearing a smock.
Yeah, they could. Yeah, it's interesting, but it's always black bra and panties, and then you lay on the table. And they just have these special mitts and they just go to town.
Wow.
And you see all the little balls of dead skin, and then they pour water over you and wash it away and do your front and back and side and all this kind of stuff. It's so wonderful.
I have to say, I've known you for how long?
40 years.
40 years. And throughout those 40 years, you have been in various stages of economic level stability. Yes. Right. And there have been nice, I'm fine times of your life. And there have been, oh shit, I don't have enough money times of your life.
Yes.
No matter what the time is of your life, you always needed to go to the spa.
Yeah.
It was like your one main thing that you desperately need to keep yourself sane.
Yeah. But when I was swimming in cash.
Yes.
Which, by the way, I drowned in and now it's all gone. I would go to like a really nice spa.
Yeah, didn't you have like a year pass or something to a spa?
I had a membership.
A membership.
But this was back in the day. I mean, this was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Where it was like $500 and I could go to any of the brand. It was Burke Williams, which is the super nicest.
Yeah.
Now it's like way more money than that. It's
really?
Yeah. Anyway, we can
to do the membership.
Yeah, and the membership is just for one spa, and it's $200 per month. Like it's this whole thing.
Wow.
But back in the day, I would do that. But in the not so rich days,
right. In the lean years,
yeah, that's when I would save up money and go get the $39 massage.
Yeah,
or less. I do like the in the mall where you do the chair massage.
Oh, you do the mall chair massage?
I do the mall chair massage. Not necessarily the ones that are just out in the middle.
Okay. Well, that's better then.
Yeah.
At least you're not in the middle of the mall and people are walking by you, hitting you with their hot topic bags.
No, there's a few that have their own like storefronts.
Huh. Okay.
So I even really like that.
Which I think are more like little mini mall spas.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
Cucumber water abounds.
Sure.
So that is my take on the Korean spa. And you know what's funny? In quarantine.
Yeah. Have you gone?
No. But that's what's funny is it's one of the two things that I forget it's quarantine and I go, I want to go to the Korean spa. I have time tomorrow. And then I remember, no.
Yeah.
It's not allowed.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not open.
I'd have to wrap myself in saran wrap before I go.
Well, no, I'm sure they're not doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I would hope they're not doing it. But so. It's just, that's one thing where I really go like, oh, and then I'm jolted back to reality.
All right. Well, that's awesome. I hope everyone is excited to join their local spas. And let's do a new question?
Yes, please.
All right. We have a new question here, and this is a phone message.
Ooh.
Somebody sent us a phone message. We got a couple of phone messages. This is from Kat.
Hey, my name is Kat. I'm from New York, and I wanted to inquire about a question about money. It's not really a question for me, more so it's regarding one of my really close friends. I'm a little concerned about her spending habits. She has a tendency to get drunk and order weird things on Amazon in large bulk. For example, she ordered, I think it was a pack of 100 of those sticky hands that come on the string, and you like throw it and it like slaps against the wall, and then you pull it back and it like retracts back into your hand.
Sticky hands.
She ordered 100 of those for God knows what reason. And then the more concerning one was the 100 or so bulk of little miniature plastic babies. That one really took me for a turn. So I want to be able to give my friend advice on how to stop doing this while she's drunk. Any help would be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much.
All right. That was Kat. Thank you, Kat.
Thank you, Kat. And wow, there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
Just the things, first of all, the tendency to buy in bulk.
Yeah.
To drunk buy in bulk.
That's very odd.
Yeah, but what Kat doesn't say is, do I think my friend has a drinking problem?
Right.
Yeah, so if your friend is drinking too much a lot, that's another issue to maybe, bring up with her. And also the question is, I mean, on the base level, you could say it's none of your business what she does.
Yeah, sure.
But when you're looking at your friend, I mean, does she have money to be buying sticky hands and baby dolls in bulk?
Right.
That's a question. If this person is also saying, can you help me pay my phone bill?
Yeah.
You're like, fuck no.
Exactly.
Ask your sticky hands.
And it does sound like sticky hands and little plastic babies, even in bulk. Maybe she's spending $5. Like, come on, for 100 little plastic babies, it can't be that much money.
Well, but those are just the examples she gave us.
Yeah.
And they could have been the really high-end little plastic babies.
Yeah, but it's not like she's buying bulk tires.
Not
and
yet.
There's like $500 a pop.
Kat's trying to cut it off before it turns bad. But, I mean, obviously the, main thing to do would be talk to your friend.
Right.
Which is uncomfortable. I've had friends talk to me about my poor spending habits and sometimes poor priorities regarding money.
Right. It happens.
So that's the first thing to do, obviously, is talk to her. And you would couch that saying, I love you and I'm a little worried about you.
Yeah.
And whether it's like, I'm a little worried how much you drink, I'm a little worried how much you spend. And I'm a little worried about what you're spending it on. Right. Because there's a real psychology, I think, delving into these little plastic baby dolls.
Right.
Which I'm just picturing.
And the sticky hands.
Yeah, sticky. Yeah, it's upsetting.
Yeah.
And I'm just picturing, because baby dolls are creepy anyway.
Exactly. So
I'm just picturing this like plastic bag of 100 of them with their creepy eyes just looking at me.
Yeah.
But, Kat, talk to your friend. And be prepared for her to be defensive or to laugh about it. Or, you never know what you're going to get when you go into a conversation like that. Or
maybe you could convince her to like limit it to once a week, right? If she can control herself and say, oh, I can only get drunk and shop for crazy things on Saturday nights. Maybe it'll limit her at least or get her a little bit more into a real pattern, or I don't know, maybe it would help.
My other advice is to break into her Amazon and change the password and email.
There's another good one.
So that if she wants to log in to buy something, she has to go through you.
Exactly.
Again, I mean, maybe not the best way to, shore up the trust in your friendship.
Right.
But yeah,
but there will be less babies.
There will. Oh, geez.
We need less babies in this world.
We need less baby dolls. So creepy. But yeah, it's a difficult question. I don't know, in the order of issues, whether the top priority is the drinking,
right, or
the spending, right, or the what she's spending on.
Right.
If she's trying to fill her deep, dark hole with sticky hands and baby dolls, that's just not a good image.
Yeah. But you know what? Maybe if she's a good friend, maybe just bringing it up to her and talking to her and saying, I'm a little worried about it. Maybe that'll be good enough to make her understand and help her move on.
Or buy your own baby dolls and look at her and say, I bought these. What do you think of me buying these?
She could also order like a whole big bulk item of like Nazi flyers or like something horrible and send them to her house and be like, look, this is the worst. You got to stop.
Yeah.
Like kind of fool her into thinking that she's buying racist items in bulk.
This is you. In the wine, there is truth, they say. So, but I do like the idea of changing her password.
That's a really fun idea. That's really good. I really appreciate that one.
Thank you, Kat.
The following message is brought to you by Fidelity Investments. To help drive your RIA business forward, choose the premium custody provider that understands how the industry works by delivering optimized value and a commitment to put advisors' needs first. With transparent pricing, timely insights, and a dedicated relationship manager for every RIA client, Fidelity helps enable advisors with innovative, future-ready technology solutions, including an award-winning tech integration storefront. Because when it comes to total value, we believe the choice is clear. Look to the future with Fidelity. See how we can help you right now. Visit i.fidelity.com/maxvalue or call 800-735-3756 to get started. Fidelity Institutional provides clearing, custody, or other brokerage services through National Financial Services LLC or Fidelity Brokerage Services LLC. Members NYSE SIPC 948277.1.0.
Hey there. The holidays are here, so it's good to know Kroger can save you some time with free pickup on all your fresh favorites. Whether your traditions call for a hearty helping of juicy ham, ample apple pie, or Aunt Sue's legendary twice-stuffed stuffing, Kroger has got you covered. So order for free pickup at Kroger.com or the app and get more time to get your holiday on when you grab your groceries curbside. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Free pickup on orders of $35 or more. Restrictions may apply.
All right, we have one more question. This is our last question is from Instagram. We had one from Facebook, one from our website, one on phone message, and now an Instagram message. I'm so happy to be getting all these messages. The quick one. This is from Nelda Nicole. And Nelda Nicole asks, how many boyfriends is too many? Simple question.
I guess it depends on how the boys feel. Serious boyfriends, maybe one or two if they're already pals.
Right.
Casual, if it's all casual, man, it's up to you.
Yeah, sure.
If you're going to match on Tinder with 95 guys.
Yeah.
First of all, if you meet any of them, don't.
Yeah, wear a mask.
Because you're going to get COVID.
Yeah.
Well, I would say with people you really don't know, I would even wear a mask when you talk to them on the phone.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And if you do have sex, you got to go full Hasidic, right? Like the sheet with the hole.
Exactly.
You got to.
Exactly. So if I had to just answer the question plainly, how many boyfriends is too many boyfriends? 6.5.
Okay. I like that. That's a solid question answer.
Yeah.
All right. That would be the end of our question segment.
Okay.
Those were really fun questions. Thank you for sending them in. And now we move on to our next big segment. I'm very excited to announce it is Clark's Corner.
Really bitch about Star Wars or obsess about She-Hulk? We'll find out on Clark's Corner. Clark's Corner.
All right. So yeah, this is, well, maybe you should explain what Clark's Corner is.
Clark's Corner is something I don't know about yet that will involve Clark's super nerdy bent and could be anything from comic books, movies and TV, sports. Like, I don't know what's coming my way.
Right.
It's just a little time for Clark to be Clark.
Exactly. And with that time, I would like to talk about, LB, what's your favorite Thanksgiving movie?
It might be Home for the Holidays.
Okay.
But Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Right. Is the usual standard go-to.
Yes.
I also love Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It was directed by John Hughes, who wrote 16 amazing movies in the 80s. And he
including
directed
16
Candles and a bunch of others. And he directed 7 of those movies. He wrote Planes, Trains, and Automobiles in, I think, 86 or 87, based on a real story that happened to him, where he was an advertising exec in his youth and was flying to New York and got transferred and split and sent to different places. And so he kind of wrote the story in, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 days, really quick.
But did he have a John Candy?
I don't know if he had a John Candy, but he certainly came up with the idea for these 2 guys that are traveling around.
Gotcha.
And he wrote a 145-page script, which, if you don't know out there, is exceedingly long for a movie. That's easily about a 2.5-hour script, and that's bare minimum. With John Hughes, there's tons of monologues and stuff, so that's probably a 3-4 hour script. So when they finally cut the movie together, Steve Martin said there was about 4.5 hours of footage in that first cut. So here's my idea, and this is what I want to talk to you about, because, you know, who knows? Maybe somebody's listening and they happen to be the cousins of the person that owns Paramount, and they can do something with this idea. So my idea is, let's go back. Let's find the 4.5 hour version of this movie. Let's go find the old negatives to pull out any other clips that we might have missed. Let's turn Planes, Trains, and Automobiles into a 4-week-long mini-series where we see John Hughes's true vision of every single thing that could happen to Steve Martin and John Candy. It's all filmed. He edited together a 4-hour version. I thought maybe, the other thing is Elton John wrote a theme song for Planes, Trains, and Automobiles that they never used.
Dude.
That nobody's ever heard. So you get him to come back that'll be the opening theme for your show.
Yeah.
You cut it up into maybe 30 to 45 minute segments, because now it's streaming. You don't have to be a 30 or a 60. And then I thought maybe if there were no natural breaks every 20 to 30 minutes, maybe you could even record a new series, some new scenes with Steve Martin. Maybe he's traveling again now that he's old with his son, and he's telling him about what happened. Maybe there's some way to add a little bit of kind of bookends to every episode.
Like that.
But you make it.
And his son's name is Dell?
Yeah, I love that. How that would be amazing.
Oh, I like that.
So today's Clark's Corner is my plea so that somebody out there can hear this brilliant idea and get it made. I would really love an 8 to 10 episode miniseries where you get to see there are people that were cut out of that movie that you have no clue were in that movie.
Yeah.
What's his name? Not
Eugene
Lenny
Levy?
Squiggy.
David Lander?
No, the other one.
Michael McKean.
Is in the movie.
Wow.
There's a number of famous actors and actresses that are in that movie that got cut out. So I think that would just be a really fun. You air the first one on Thanksgiving and you run from Thanksgiving to Christmas.
Yeah.
And you could make it even a tradition every year. You run it, those
Wait, but
weeks.
it's a Thanksgiving movie, right?
It's a Thanksgiving movie.
So you run it from...
But it's holidays. It's snow.
You run it from Halloween to Thanksgiving.
You could do that too.
Yes.
You could do that too.
Okay, I like this idea,
right?
And I think that we should go forward.
Okay. You're green-lighting this idea.
I'm sure Steve Martin is listening.
Sure.
He's a big fan of 90s Nickelodeon. I'm sure.
Of course.
And also
Very
of
well
the
known.
Steve Harvey Show.
Right, yeah. He probably loves Steve Harvey.
He's the real demographic for the Steve Harvey Show.
Sure.
But I think that's a great idea.
Isn't that
would just
idea?
fill my heart to the brim to see.
Just think about how many amazing, touching, wonderful moments there are in that movie.
Right.
And now triple it. there's supposed to be, there's a scene that people have talked about that takes place at the end that was cut.
Mm-hmm.
So in the movie that's released, that's out right now that you can watch on Blu-ray, Steve Martin finds John Candy in the train room or the bus station or something like that at the very end. And he invites him to come to his house. And that's when John Candy
figures out that
his wife is dead. So I guess there is a scene in between where Del and John Candy and Steve Martin go to a diner. And he tells him, no, this is kind of a thing that I do. I've done it a couple of years where I kind of latch on to people that I meet. And it just kind of happened during the holidays. And you were just so nice. I couldn't let go. And it just added another amazing layer of sentiment and coolness to this story. And I just would love to see this entire 5-hour epic.
Okay, that sounds amazing.
Thank you.
That sounds amazing.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. So that was Clark's Corner. It'll never get made, but it's nice to dream. Okay. Well, enough with my corner. It's time for the final question of the day. Man, we are burning through. This is really good. Okay, we have a final question here, and I believe this is also a question that we received on our website, which is AskLoriBeth.com. And this question is from Nate. Okay. Nate asks, "Hi, Lori Beth. I have a problem, and I need bad advice. Members of my extended family found out about my secret private gay Facebook page that I made so I could be myself online and not have family friends, or old acquaintances from high school commenting that I've changed or you're wrong. Here's an OAN article and junk like that. They're going to be pissed either way, but what can I do so they don't go complain to my parents? Also, not friends with that profile. And have a place where I can just be myself and not have to closet my dumb fart jokes and whatnot. Thanks. You're the best, Nate."
Oh my goodness, Nate. I feel for you.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is I don't take from that, how do you get them to stop from telling your parents? I take from that, how do you let yourself be yourself online and not give a shit what other people think?
Right.
Because that just sounds awful. I mean, I don't know. It's unclear if you're out to your family at all.
Right.
Or if you're keeping it tamped down. Like, yes, I enjoy the company of men.
Right.
And first of all, I just think that fart jokes deserve, front and center stage no matter what.
Yeah.
So the fact that you were like, my gay fart jokes, like, that's brilliant.
We've got to fight for that.
Exactly.
If we don't fight for that, what do we fight for?
Exactly. And but the fact that you feel, and I know you're giving us a picture of family, friends, and old acquaintances who would be, like, well, this is a sinful life you've chosen. If they're not going to get it, they're not going to get it.
Right.
Or they're going to refuse to get it, or they can't bring themselves to get it.
Right.
But you've got to get it.
Yeah.
You're Nate.
Yeah.
And a secret gay Facebook, you shouldn't feel like you have to hide.
Right.
And the other answer to your actual question is you can't keep them from telling your parents.
Yeah.
They probably already told your parents.
Yeah.
Whether your parents are, comfortable enough or not to talk to you, you have no control over who saw it and who's going to see it and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
I mean, you could make it a private page, but I don't know how it works. But
could,
that's not the point. I'm not saying you should make it a private page.
Yeah. Oh, well, I was just going to say the other thing that you could do, if your goal here isn't to come out, if your goal here is to stay kind of closeted for a little bit longer, which is your decision, I do have a couple of different friends who have tested the legitimate name rule on Facebook, right? Where instead of their actual name, they put, Joey Two Nuts or whatever it is, where you just come up with a fake name, right? You're 6 of 4 or whatever you want to call yourself. It's just a way for you to add a little bit of anonymity so that people can't search your name.
Yeah.
That might be suggestion if that's what you want to do.
Yeah. And Clark is right. It's your choice whether to come out. It's a different situation for everyone.
Yes, it is.
You know, it's not as simple as like, but you've got to fight for the rights and be proud. It's like, no, based on your family and your situation and, you know, what that could mean to you.
Right.
That's up to you.
Right.
But if you are out, then be out.
Yeah.
Yeah. If your family knows that you're gay, then they should be fine with your fart jokes. And if they're not, fuck off.
Yes.
You know, block them on Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah.
First of all.
Exactly.
But I'd love to hear back from you.
Yeah.
Because I think the takeaway from this, you know, like I said, unless you are not out yet, is to find it within yourself to be yourself without regard for what, you know, some Gladys Kravitz neighbor that you had when you were growing up is going to tell your mom and dad.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and to be more comfortable with yourself.
Right.
If that's something that you can do at this time.
Yeah.
Other than that, you can do the name thing on Facebook.
Yeah.
You can block everyone you never want to see.
And please feel free to take Joey Two Nuts.
Joey Two Nuts is yours free of charge.
It's totally yours.
Excellent.
In fact, most people out there, even if you're not gay, even if you don't tell fart jokes, please go on social media right now. Change your name to Joey Two Nuts.
Uh-oh. There's going to be all different spellings. JO-E, the number 2 NUTZ.
What, are they making a license plate?
Well, no, because somebody's just going to be Joey Two Nuts.
That's true. So
then somebody has to be, like Joey _2 Nuts 6. But and so I'm also along with Steve Martin, actually with Steve Martin at Steve Martin's house is Mark Zuckerberg.
Right.
They listen together
to
this podcast specifically.
But they only have one headphone. So they one of them is listening to one ear and then the other one is listening to the other ear.
And then they drink one milkshake with 2 straws. They're cute as buttons.
They are. It's adorable.
Exactly. So, I'm sure.
Anyway, Mark
sucks.
Zuckerberg is listening.
So he's going to take exception to us telling everyone to change their name to Joey Two Nuts.
Yeah, now he's going to make Joey Two Nuts an illegal name to
exactly.
have. Oh, wonderful.
Because that's the problem with Facebook.
Yeah, exactly.
Secret Joey Two Nuts.
Exactly. Oh well.
Okay, Nate.
Well,
I hope that any of this helped. I hope that if the problem is you just feeling uncomfortable, if you are out already. If you're out, be out.
Yeah.
And
be happy.
Be happy and be who you are.
Yeah. That's very good advice.
Thanks.
All right. Well, I believe that's about it. We have wrapped up. We got all our questions answered. We've done our little bit and we're about to wrap up. Have a fun time.
What about hibernation?
Oh, yeah. We talked about hibernation, too.
Talk about hibernation as well.
Yeah.
God, your kid is so friggin' cute.
He is, I know.
I'm so bummed out. I was on my Facebook. Speaking of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, back at you.
Right.
On my memories recently was a picture of the first time I met Lex.
Oh.
He was a few months old.
Okay, probably, yeah.
And I was here.
Maybe even less.
Yeah, probably. But he was here and he was here. He was at the house, oddly enough. He wasn't out. No, I came over here to visit. We are at Clark's house right now because I realize nobody knows what here means.
That's true.
We were at the Red Lobster.
Earth. Yeah.
And I got to meet him and hold him and all that kind of stuff. And then you and Karen needed to go buy some appliance.
Right.
And I really just innocently and helpfully was like, if you guys want to go, I can stay with the baby. And there was this look of shock on Karen's face. And she was like, and I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't, no, whatever you're comfortable with. And she says, no, it's not that. It's just that nobody else except Mimi and Papa has ever watched him.
That's exactly right.
So to this day, and you, in all, respect and the respect I felt, you went to Sears.
Oh, yeah.
And you left me at home and I took some selfies of me and the baby. And one of those is what came up on Facebook. So, and to this day, I believe I am still outside Grandma and Grandpa or Mimi and Papa.
Right.
I am Lex's only babysitter.
You are. If anything happened and there was a big explosion and everyone died except for Lex, you'd have to walk around with him like a samurai.
Dude.
Like a Mandalorian and Baby Yoda.
This is going a little off the rails,
Sure.
but do you remember the time I was babysitting for Lex?
Okay.
And there's one room in Clark and Karen's house where we sit in couches and there's a TV. And then there's another room that's kind of like a den hangout. And Lex went in there and he's like playing on something. He's probably 4 at the time.
Okay.
And I walk in and there's a fire in the fireplace.
Oh, right.
There's a fire in the fireplace.
Yes.
And what you need to know about Clark's house is it's got all kinds of tricks and buttons and recording you and automated things.
Right. I can just tell the lights to turn on. Yeah. And
there's all kinds of shit like that going on.
Yeah.
And I thought that you were fucking with me and that you had an electric fireplace
I'm able to turn on my fireplace from my phone. Yeah, of course.
And so I'm like, oh, okay.
Which, by the way, if there are any inventors out there, what a brilliant idea.
Right?
Be able to turn on your fireplace from your phone? Okay, go ahead.
It's a great idea to turn your fireplace on when you're not home. Or when just your 4-year-old son is sitting right by.
All right. Okay.
In a pile of dried leaves. But so that I'm like, but it was really nice that there was a fire going.
Right.
And then you came home from wherever you guys were.
Right.
And you go, did you start a fire? And I go, I thought you started the fire. And you were like, no. And it turned out that you had had a fire the night before.
I swear to God, I think I might be remembering this incorrectly, but I swear to God, it wasn't even the night before. It was like 2 nights before.
I guess there somehow was still an ember or whatever. And it just ignited itself. And both of us were like, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Yeah.
Really weird. And I'm not my house is not haunted. I have a very nice, happy house. There's very good vibes in the house.
It is.
But that was just weird.
Yeah, that was very weird.
Yeah.
Luckily, no one was hurt. And
you had a nice, pleasant fire.
I did have a nice, pleasant fire.
Everyone won.
It was cozy.
It was good. All right. Well, we should wrap up and stop rambling on here about ghost fires. So yeah, do you have anything else you want to say?
No, just thanks so much for listening.
Yeah, we really appreciate all these new questions.
Yes.
Keep bringing them on. We love them. If you have questions, please send them to us at AskLoriBeth.com. You can hit us up on all the socials at AskLoriBeth, or just leave a message with your name and where you're from at 1-855-DENBERG. That's 1-855-DENBERG. And we will get back to you, and maybe you'll get on the podcast.
Yes, a podcast that you should subscribe to.
Yes, and tell your friends about. Tell them to subscribe. We need more subscribers.
We have 5 listeners now. If each of you tells one friend, we double our audience.
A lot of people.
Exactly.
I'm sure. I'll work on the calculations later. Thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun, and we will talk to you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Bad Advice stars Lori Beth Denberg and Clark Crozer. The show is produced by me, Jeremy Balon, and part of the Seltzer Kings network. Our theme song is written and performed by Natty Ward. If you or someone you love is in need of some bad advice, you can submit your own question on our socials, all of which are Ask Lori Beth, or on our website at AskLoriBeth.com, or for a nostalgic twist, you can call 1-855-DENBERG. That's right, 1-855-336-2374, and leave your question there. Thanks for listening.